everybody, and welcome to another episode of Curse of Muddy Misery. Tonight we're playing the module Curse of Strahd, but it's been changed, transformed, and we're playing in the system and the setting of Frostmark RPG. Everything created by moi. There's a content warning for tonight of bad language, heavy topics, gothic horror, and perhaps some gore. We shall see. But I have a wonderful cast of players with me. I usually have Lady Lyria, our half-elven magus, played by Jules, who's off having fun in Germany. And we're just happy that despite summer shenanigans, we're at least 4 people able to play tonight. Anyway, but then we have Hamartia, the Sunbringer, our changeling warlock, played by Cookie. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Nyx of the Vistani, our tiefling bard, played by Adriano. Hello, welcome.
Our destinies away.
And certainly not the least, nor the shortest, Jukas, undead paladin, played by Weewu. Hello, welcome.
It's rock time.
Oh yeah, the sun. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the rocks.
Guys, what happened last time?
Well, let me tell you, Bexxy, what happened last time.
Get
ready for this returned episode rundown provided by yours truly, DM.
Oh my god, yes.
Ready, here we go. Hamartia dreams about being a sky mom and is rudely wakened by Fanya bursting in to inquire about her fellow orphans' whereabouts. You abate her fears with the news that you've offered Valakovich Manor to them, and she's free to travel after them at her convenience, or just remain here. Fanya accepts your kindness, thinking they need to stay here for a while to just rest, and you all agree that the insects and the critters in Ophelia's room have to go. After she leaves, Hamartia gushes about that strange feeling of being called a quote-unquote mistress. Illyria goes, bitch please, try Lady Saint before you complain. Upon thinking about how to properly inherit this trauma, agrees that the best course of action is to find out what kind of body parts they need for Morgantha's corpse. Towards that end, you have to visit the standing stones behind the windmill again. Hamartia casually changes the weather. Your thoughts turn to your undead Minotaur acquaintance, and Nick shares the good things he has learned about him, and you conclude that you might be able to trust him. To the library! You wake the dead and get a history lecture after waking up. Yay! Iria starts a friendly inquiry to Jivkos's mind, and the important tidbits are: the forest folk, or the people of the forest, were the first settlers in the Battlemaps Valley. They used to have 3 permanent camps, one at Yesterhill, one at Berez, and one at Morgantha's house around the windmill. They worship 3 elemental beings and have always been standoffish. Jivkos gets very unhappy about the idea of heading into the Forbidden Palace in the Southern Mountains, but gets convinced after hearing more about Madame Eva's prophecy, but he advises extreme caution. Jivkos experienced enlightenment for a second, revealing that the forest folk's 3 permanent camps in the valley used to be close to the set of standing stones, which had a culture and religious importance to them. You know of Yesterhill and Windmill, but Jivkos missed the 3rd set of island in the river of Berez. The elemental beings have been used in the past as a willing force against Zarovich with great effect, and might be able to be rallied against him. At breakfast, you discover that the orphans will be alright with food buys, but for some of them, that their charming condition is wearing off. After the meal, Hamartia goes off to resummon Sol, who understandably angry, but after a lot of apologies and the promise of a final form in the future, Sol eventually graciously forgives Hamartia and accepts the presence of yet another servant in his murderous entourage. And we have learned that Sol is a he, not a she. To escape the children and menial work, Nyx finishes transcribing on Morgantha's latest diary edition. Learning first couple of pages discussed her pibus and how gullible Father Lucian turned out to be. Fury has a reaction to the burning down the windmill and creating ideas for how to punish you all. After a meeting with Strahd, however, she begrudgingly accepts the only blood of the gnome, and she notes how Strahd suddenly cares so much about her business, blaming Illyria for the change. She was able to plan her revenge so well in part because of the aid of Rin, who apparently scried on the party. At the news of what happened to Velaki and judging how you handled the ball, she started to worry that you were going to come after her for revenge, and that you were more capable than she thought. The plan of having orphan meet short forms, and she burns down the orphanage in Velaki and convinces Burgomistress Wachter to send her way. With the orphans in her house, and she made a new plan how to get income by trading and selling the orphans off, she develops a new recipe that doesn't require all parts of a child. She was interrupted by you, and she crafted a letter to the steward Rahadin to get funding and official stamp from the castle. Yay. As the nerds nerd off, Jivkos goes down and dirty by removing the dirty and dangerous from the manor. He makes a big May bonfire on the lawn and stares into the flame with a satisfied cat grin on his face. His revelry is interrupted by Illyria going by and asking if it's okay if she continues to carry the sunsword. After a bit of back and forth, Jivkos thinks it's agreeable that Illyria hands steers its power. With the thoughts in the past, Chief Coast finally realizes that who Illyria reminds him of. Reincarnation explained to TM happens once more, delving into the juicy tidbits of info. Despite your exhaustion, you take some rations, you say goodbyes, and you set out on the road once more. Dun, dun, dun.
Good job! Nice!
That was
Nice!
That was very fast.
Holy
I feel like there was some rubber burning going on there. Jesus.
That shit.
Now, I can't wait to play this video back at twice the speed.
Yeah, like I usually
It's like
do.
fucking Eminem rapping. Someone would
The rap god. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Congrats. Oh shit.
Thank you so much. Alright, let's get back to it, shall we? Jesus Christ. Plot.
Pretty good. That's how you do a speedrun in D&D. Or in Frostmark. What?
Here we go. Alrighto. We're going to come back into the moment where we ended the last session, saying goodbye to all the myriad of orphans who look to you with gratitude and wonder. You have Zarko, the boy you met in the coal storage, looking far healthier with a pink rose hue to his cheeks and a fading black mark around one of his eyes. Darva, the one taken hostage by a myriad of insects and snakes, nods her goodbyes to Chipkos in particular, but her gaze turns towards the forest, itching to go exploring. You have Sonia, who gave you the potion, and which in the end happened to kinda resurrect little Bojana, who is in the back, where you can hear her complaining loudly even now. As described at last time, Sonia comes up to you all with hugs and her own personal thanks. Ogniana, the seamstress, tries to quiet Bojana down the best she can, but in general she looks like she wants to be elsewhere, perhaps continuing her craft. Per, the servant boy that you observe through the veranda window into the breakfast room, gives a short nod, looking rather confused and worried in general. Bolek smiles openly, showing the giggling Janina some combat swings he observed from you during the brief encounter with the flying animated sword he watched. Little Vida in the back shows off a white swan origami piece as she waves openly and enthusiastically goodbye to all of you. And lastly, Tessa and Fania stands in the middle of the mall, sometimes casting nervous glances back towards the house and the toddlers and babes they have left within as they give you their polite goodbyes. Watching the score of rescued children before you and glancing over your shoulder to the road, to experience that rush of unknown wonder and trepidatious hope that you might be able to replicate these accomplishments elsewhere. But watching this grateful audience wave you goodbye, and the sagging yellow-brown house infested with climbing plants behind them, your mind is momentarily pulled to the former inhabitants of Skull Manor, as well as the teenager corpse you left somewhere off into the woods. You don't really care about the Folly and Bella, but Morgantha was a part of your vision in the earthen tunnel underneath Gisser Hill. Hamardia.
Yes.
As for Evonia, you realize that you haven't taken care of her body, and the chances are very high that an errant orphan could stumble upon her body. Team Trauma, in this transient moment where you hesitate on the threshold of what was and the unknown future ahead, are you sure you have accomplished everything you want to do here before leaving behind the lair of the Sunbringer?
Can we do this out of character, or
However you want to do it.
Okay, so I believe we should first things first make sure that Morganfa's body is somewhere safe and somewhere where we can easily chop it to pieces, basically.
I would be under the impression that we probably want to take something that proves that we have ended her and then burn the rest of her.
No, because we don't. Well, you remember my vision about when back when we were at Winter Splinter? I've seen that I need to take some specific parts out of rings to make some sort of ritual. I believe the same could probably be applied to Mother Dearest. That's why I do not wish to burn the body away yet.
So what do you
Maybe.
need from her?
I don't know. I believe I will have more information once we get to the Standing Stones.
Maybe Jivkos just carries Morgantha with us.
Sounds like
Don't
yeah,
want
fine.
to carry her all the way.
I mean, feel free to break some bones, make it easier to carry her. I mean, don't be so cautious with the corpse. I mean, defiling the body is all totally fine with me after what she put us through.
Do we have space in that bag of yours?
No, it's filled with books for now. Besides, it's just a small opening. Unless you want to make her a noodle, I don't think she will fit.
Oh, right.
I shall carry her if we wish to take her then. But I do ask about the other body we must.
Before we depart, I think Jivkos, we do what we agreed and put her to rest amongst below the oak tree in the pond. If you there's a hole ready to put her in. It's unfortunate, but I think finding the orphans finding the body will be a bit more traumatizing than not finding her.
Agreed. I think we should do something about it. But are we gonna tell them about it?
Perhaps tell. What is her name? The one who seems good with leadership.
Perhaps. I think that's Amatia's role here.
Yes, I shall do so.
I think we should also take some keepsakes. I have your mother's journal after all, but I had hoped to learn of being able to move around faster. If we are intending to return here and we are going to find ourselves somewhere else in the far out reaches of Barovia, we managed to get teleported to Ravenloft in an instant. That it's been annoying me that I can't figure it out. We saw it in Velakovich with the boy trying his best to understand how teleportation works. And I thought that maybe if I could figure that shit out, we wouldn't have to waste, our shoe leather or our horse hoofs, what have you, to get around.
I believe time would be a more precious source than what you are mourning right now.
It's more about being able to traverse. So I don't know if there is any way
Well-
that you have learned from your mother this sort of.
Well, we did see the teleporter back in Valaki to my place, so perhaps we can map out the system, and that will help us travel around more swiftly.
I didn't see a teleportation circle in your house, though.
Yes, we need to find it. It's probably hidden somewhere.
I'm
Is
surprised
there
I'm not able to see from being the owner.
Yes, can you not determine
Oh,
that?
yes,
Just
I'm
by-
here. Ah,
Yeah. Feel it?
I don't
Feel me
believe
a
I'm not
circle,
about to
Mattia.
stop. Give me a moment. And Marc is going to concentrate for a moment and see if she finds a teleportation circle.
Ooh, okay. Make me. Hmm.
Hmm.
Give
Vibe checks.
me a perception presence with advantage.
Perception presence with advantage. Okay.
Can I, as this is a active check,
Mhm.
and I've been going over guidance for quite a bit, I can see that Tamati is about to do the big think, and I'm like, oh, don't touch yourself. Here, you've
You
got
may.
this.
You may.
Don't hurt your small brain.
And give her guidance for this one.
It's okay.
Okay. That's gonna be 24 and a 15. 24 plus 27. Would that be fine? Would that be enough for you?
And teleportation circle.
Hermione, you find yourself very blind. No, I'm just kidding.
I can't see shit!
Diving into yourself, into the melody you experienced during your dream, you're momentarily back with the weasel family in the root system, with the fishes in the pond, with the various croaking toads and the various birds in the trees. And you eventually stop and ponder upon a little spot within your lair that feels rather alien to you, as in you in the whole. Something that is not under your control, nor native to your lair. And it's like this cold spot where there's a strange kind of energy around it that perhaps Nyx, through his detect magic or detect aspects, could describe as a magical source of energy.
I think I found something suspicious. It's like a little enclave of territory that is not mine within. I do believe that if we reach this place, we may be able to discern why it's not under my control. But if it's foreign magic, then perhaps that's our best bet for the teleportation circle.
Can you take us there?
Of
You know
course,
where it is.
yes, I know exactly where it is.
Yes, exactly. It's just like 10 minutes down the main little path that leads to the manor itself, and then just offshooting into the forest, like 50 or so meters.
On the way in.
Let us sort out everything here first, then I propose.
Agreed.
Yes. What about you, Didier? Do you agree?
Everybody make me an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
Except
pure...
Jivkos. Except Jivkos.
Yeah, let's go!
Except Jivkos, but he's like our best guy for this.
Apparently.
I've got a +0. What do you mean?
Double 18. Let's go. What's 36?
Does Irius or Illyria need to roll? Probably it's
yes.
enough, to be honest.
Well, Irius is definitely gonna roll.
Smart boy. Uh-oh.
Not really, actually.
Oh, what?
His magic is not really based upon his intelligence.
Well, thankfully that was used for our benefit
Wow.
and not against.
Well,
Thank you,
Doing
Bexxy.
something else.
Okay, starting off this episode right. My rolls are great. You all remember actually talking to the vampire spawn Xandret, the Goliath, in Vallaki.
Oh yeah.
You were hunting down the scent. Saul had rolled a critical 20 on the scent of Bella, who was masquerading as Millivoy. And that scent and Saul led you to the old coffee maker's house that had been burned down and destroyed and now reverted into some kind of big storage room. Guarded by Xandret and throwing Illyria's Lady Saint lover titles around. You were easily granted entry, but through Xandred you learned that Bella had indeed taken passage through the teleportation circle within, and has traveled to Castle Ravenloft and had taken some respite and safety within the walls, and you hesitated to follow her. So she didn't travel to Squall Manor, she went to Castle Ravenloft.
No.
Yes.
So I'm confused why this was
Yeah.
something that.
knew that.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah.
Why did this jog our memory?
Irius kind of Irius ends this all with it's curious how she didn't just travel here immediately.
Well, I guess we are under the impression that there may be additional circles in Ravenloft, and that is more like the hub. You want to get anywhere in Barovia, that doesn't mean creating your own. You have to go via the castle.
This is an amazing discovery. So if we find a teleportation circle here, to more easily travel around the valley, will we then go to Castle Ravenloft to find a closer circle?
Perhaps.
Anthony?
But I can also create my own, provided that, I learn how it works.
Do you think you can learn how it works on this circle? Can you reverse engineer it in some way?
Maybe it. When I was looking at the circle in Valaki, I mean, Victor spent a lot of time on it and still fucked it up, and it was beyond my reach even then. But I feel like with all the movements we've been bouncing back and forth, and I really hated the fact that we were just, almost hijacked on the way to Kresk and say, hey, just, you thought you were going to the town, but absolutely, instead you're going to a ball, and now come into this area, and poof, now you're in the Ravenloft, without any way of getting back, without any control. If we are to get the jump on Strahd, we have to be in charge of our own destinies, and I can't see how we can be if Strahd can bounce around this country as he wills and can fly. We need to get an edge too. So I'm going to try.
Oh, we can also fly.
Not all of us.
Yes. There's
But
enough
can you
room.
teleport great distances in a blink of an eye?
Not yet, but give me a few centuries, maybe I'll be able to do it.
Having the ability to
I
get
think we don't have time for a few centuries, Amatia, but good to know.
That kind of magic is powerful. But I think Nix is right. I am also very curious to find out if we're able to use this system to our advantage.
I agree. I think having access like that to the internals of Ravenloft would be of utmost usefulness, especially for my own interests, as you are aware.
It seems like we are in agreement.
Should we have a look at this and then attempt to find the stones afterwards?
It's on the way.
Oh,
So we wrap
I
up.
mean, not to use the circles immediately.
No. I just want to see them. I mapped what Victor did in my book in Valaki. I saw the runes that were used in Ravenloft, and each time I see one of these circles, a little piece clicks, and I'm getting there, but I'm not quite.
Let's get the last pieces to your puzzle then.
Oh,
Maybe.
Can you show me your notes on your way?
Sure, we can nerd it out along the way.
Oh, speaking my language.
Sure. But let's wrap everything up here. Let's put things where they belong. Let us inform those that need to be informed and hit the road.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Yes.
Amatia will go and take what's her name? Svonimir is the big one, isn't she? Or
Fanya.
Fanya,
Svonimir was the
yes.
one you hurt.
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
got
she's the
over.
dead one, I think.
No,
fuck.
Ivonia is the dead one.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's
Svanimir.
laughing at them. Fuck. Okay.
Under
I'm gonna talk to
actors,
Fanya.
under actors, you have orphans, which is the whole
Yes.
list.
There's so many
orphans. Oh my god.
The whole list.
It makes sense. There's a lot of orphans. It's fucking Barovia.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take Fanya.
Touche.
And,
Yes. They kind of left the grand staircase when they noticed you kind of went off and started to huddle up in a corner, started talking, and like the moment was over, they started to drag it out, and they're like, okay, I guess we just sleep.
Wait, who's the dead one?
Ivonia.
Vanya. Okay.
Second one down from.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Jivkos will go to sort out Avonia.
Okay, pick her up for now. Okay.
Yes.
And you find Hamartia, Fanya, like in the business of doing her day-to-day, like taking care of the toddlers, and there's some smells in your bathroom. But a little bit confused, she cleans her hands off and walks into the hallway with you, or into the game room actually.
Yes.
Is something the matter? Something
Yes.
you need to tell me before going?
Yes. Fanya, you're the most responsible one here. You are my right hand in this house, and I am going to put great trust in you. You're doing a fantastic job.
Nobody have really given it a title before. Thank you. It's just gonna be like the usual, I think.
Right. So, first things first, we are going to go on a little bit of a trip. We'll be back in approximately 2 days' time. And whilst I'm gone, I expect you to act as my will, and you would here who shall be my word here. So, the house is yours.
It's mine?
For what? Until I get back, yes. It's under your control. You're in charge. You're the lady of the house until I'm back.
Fanya looks a little bit nervous.
It's not something that you haven't done already, right? We have plenty of supplies and food here for a long time, and I have a lot of business to take care of concerning this house, especially trying to get a good supply for it, to get some security measures, to make it a place that is totally safe for all the orphans in Barovia.
I guess it's just it hasn't been official. And, yeah. All right. I'm sure everything will be fine.
Yes. Also, there's something you should know, but you have to swear to me, but you will not tell a soul what I'm going to tell you right now.
All right, I swear.
Good. We tried our hardest to rescue you from my deranged family without any casualties. And we have mostly succeeded, but unfortunately, Avonia, well, she was set to be a trap, and there wasn't much we could have done to save her. They used her as a conduit for magic that destroyed her body and destroyed us as well. And would have destroyed us as well have we not taken countermeasures. Unfortunately, we could not save her.
Oh, Ivonia. I warned her that throwing herself in with the squalls so quickly and so eager to learn their power was not going to probably be good. I don't like being right in this sense, but I guess I was. Mr. Samardi, I'm sad. I'm sad Ivonia is not with us anymore.
Ameltia will take her in for a hug. He will hold her close. Almost like a motherly hug, a little bit, or maybe a big sisterly hug.
Okay. Fonia hugs you back, also in a sisterly manner. I'm also sad that you weren't able to. I can't imagine how hard it must be on your conscience as well. Even though she did this to herself, I think.
Well, to be perfectly honest, once I heard that Morgantha took you all in, I believed you'll be dead. So just seeing you and almost everyone here alive and well enough, it brings hope to my heart.
After everything I've learned and putting your words into perspective after this thing they gave us that altered our minds, I'm beginning to believe that all in all we've been very lucky. And that's mostly because of you, Mrs. Amordia. Thank you.
You're welcome. Martha is like a tomato. She is the palest tomato you've ever seen in your life.
If I may ask, Mistress,
Yes.
where is she now?
We gave her a proper burial by the lake up north.
Alright, then I know where to go to. Give my goodbyes. I think it might be better for the other orphans, though. At least the smaller ones, to just think that Ivonia headed to Volaki and she disappeared.
Yes. You may be able to tell your close circle of more responsible orphans, but discretion is advised here.
Alright.
That's it. We need to go, and we have lots to accomplish in order to, well, not only save you, but save the whole valley. Would you believe that?
No, but I'm not surprised. Just a word of advice, don't take on too much responsibility, mistress. It adds on, and then suddenly you find yourself losing hair and having no free time.
I shall take your advice kindly and firmly. Anya, thank you. Be well.
Be safe. We need you.
If you need me, I'll be there. And I will walk towards the group again.
Okay. A little bit time shenanigans here. Fania will make sure that nobody is in a room viewing the pond during the burial period. Shikas, is this just standard fare or something you will know? Note upon?
I mean, he would bury her wrapped up in the, I think, rug we had from Morgantha's room and just utter a small prayer from the Morning Lord after he's buried her, and I think for the moment leave it as a widely unmarked grave, but he would leave the tree stump that was on top of it in a specific way to indicate for when they come back if they want to make it into something proper. They know where it is.
Okay. Good to know. All right, and then you circle back with the rest of the group.
Yeah.
Okay. 30 minutes later, is there anything you want to do, Team Drama?
I think we're done everything. Yeah, go ahead.
Hmm?
I thought we were done everything, but go ahead.
No, we're done.
All right.
I wanted.
I think it is time for the teleportation circle.
Let's go.
On the
Circle
way.
the teleport. Let's go.
Huh?
I don't know. What do you do with the teleportation circle?
Teleport.
Yes.
Just to be clear, we're not teleporting. We are studying.
Yes.
In the time that Jivkos was burying and Hamachi was doing a thing, Nyx would have been showing Irius his notes.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. I'm gonna make a check with Arius to see if he gleans
Rolly roll.
anything. Rollies. And let's do, in this sense, a cunning one. So cool, cunning. There we go. 19.
Look at how he's got +8.
This is Iris Stormlight we're talking about here.
Really?
I am Ilias Stormlight.
Nice. He mentions that this kind of like conjuration magic is not his really his wheelhouse, and notes upon what kind of talent Victor needed to have to be able to create a teleportation circle that was so complete. Even though it didn't work, like just getting where he got with the obviously limited support system from the magical arts in Barovia there is. It's amazing how Victor got so far. And also giving you a compliment, Snix, of being able to use the language of magic so well, and your notes are pretty thorough, pretty well
Just
made.
need a bigger ego.
Can I get an empathy composure? Is he hitting on me?
Oh, God. Sure.
What the? Okay. Is he eating on you? What would be spicy?
22. No, there's genuine surprise, almost like Irius is just gotten past a bit of racial prejudice against you.
Oh, so he's patronizing me then.
He's genuinely surprised against his own set of indeed racial judgments about the Vistani, that you're actually good at what you do.
What do you mean, you people?
Holy shit.
But he's not being overt with this, right? It's just a hint, like an undertone, that you, Avistani, being this good was surprising to him.
What a shit.
What the fuck? He just
Oh
looks
my God.
like, what the fuck, man?
Urias is racist confirmed.
Irius has some backstory, okay? Some experiences with the Vistani
Racist.
that might have colored him a little bit.
I say to him, I guess it must be all that celestial blood in me just giving me the edge. Not everyone has it.
Celestial blood? Really? Obsidianly rare in Kasai.
I mean, it's not like I knew, but and I reach into the bag and I like bring out the vial of my father's blood.
Angel blood? He was an angel? This has not been seen in Kasai for. It's only talked about in books as an alchemy ingredient.
Wait, what?
Yes, of course.
To do what?
I forgot.
You.
I read
Right.
about it, but like it's not like I remember every detail. I just know
We do
some
have that
books.
fucking alchemy book. We do have that alchemy book.
True.
Yeah, but it's not like an encyclopedia of alchemy. It's like training on like how to mix without killing yourself.
Damn, alright. For noobs.
Yeah. It's like get good, son.
Alchemy for dummies.
Yeah, alchemy
How-
101.
How
Don't
do you
eat
have
the
the
poison
potion
mushroom.
and without blowing up?
But there
Yeah.
was a
It is.
function where you could discover if there were essences within a certain, compound.
Oh, that's fair. Nix is holding onto a component to summon a deva.
His dad again. The
Well,
incarnated.
you know what essences are in, but
His uncle.
You would require some kind of recipe for that then. And then
Oh, you can't just snort your dad's blood and poof. Good to know.
Eva!
I mean, not
It's
without
David cocaine.
not the
I mean, I
without the
don't know how you snort
conjuration
a
spell.
It's not a liquid.
Just like when you have a runny nose. You feel it like drip in the back of your throat.
Oh god, I feel like I'm
gonna-
losing the script here,
I'm gonna
guys.
kill you.
Okay. I'm losing it. Okay.
Thank you, Irius, I guess.
No worries. But what I can say with my own limited experience, which might be actually lesser than yours when it comes to this kind of spells, the teleportation circle that he tried to make looked more normal than what it ended up being.
What do you mean that it looked more normal?
Like this ones I've seen in Commodore and the Protectorate. Of course, it has other glyphs because they are, have another heading to other locations. But the one that ended up being that you helped Victor create seems simplified in a way, not as complex.
Oh, well, I didn't complete this one. I didn't even work with Victor. I just copied down what he did, and it was broken. It didn't work. In fact, it killed people.
Kill people? How do you kill people with a teleportation circle?
Well, it turns out that it turns not into a teleportation circle, but merely some sort of displacement agent that the displacement basically scatters your limbs.
That's scary. I mean, it looks right to me, and yet it's misfunctioned so.
Let us not try and recreate it.
Which is why we have to ensure that when a circle is created, it matches exactly where we are going. Otherwise, we stand to lose limbs or our lives. But nevertheless,
We've done that.
that is why it is rudimentary, Irius. It wasn't exactly fully established, and Victor was learning in isolation with a book that was a little beyond his merits.
Oh, I see.
He was more interested in enchantment anyway, fucking with the head of a girl, the daughter of Lady Vakta, who now is in charge of Velaki, and making her think that she was a cat. And this asshole of a boy managed to escape our justice and fled to village Barovia, where we are led to believe there are some shenanigans happening there, some sort of force gathering.
Boy, you have experienced a lot of strange things. Fucked up indeed. That sounds horrible.
Agreed.
It's been a long road getting to where we are.
That's some powerful magic, though. Did he
Well,
really
at the very-
learn that from a book?
I think he dabbled, and he was using his, as far as I can recall, his the workers in the manor as test subjects to see if he did it correctly. Spoiler: he didn't.
Sounds like a disgrace of a person.
Well, definitely. And he needs to be brought to justice. But should we encounter him in Barovia once more, I'm sure Lady Vakter.
Yeah, we will deal with it. Him. When we get to it.
Priorities.
We heard right at the ball that Victor was in the village of Barovia now.
With his mother, I think.
Yes, the Lady Lydia. Didn't... Yes, Lady Lydia used the same kind of magic on the gods when she escaped.
I wonder if there was some form of other person working with them. I think, if I recall, there was an understanding that Victor and Lady Lydia had some interactions with a force.
Yes, we were warned about the other.
The other, right.
And Victor mentioned the other in the diary that you found.
Yes, the other wasn't exactly filled with information. It could mean anything. It could even be a hag. It could be.
It could be Mara Knight.
It could be. It could be anything, but
You.
I hope not. But
I hope not.
look, there's a lot of unsolved mysteries that we have unable. I didn't have the time to resolve everything. We have resolved very important things. We have taken care of the vineyard and secured a security post for the God, what are the names again? Malakovich? No. The Ravens. Martikovs, right.
It's an out of character because
Yes.
Martikovs. We have ensured that Yester Hill is safe. We have gone through the stones underneath Yester Hill. We have one of the artifacts from beneath Yester Hill, one of 3. And we have ended the reign of Morgantha, saved Kresk, overturned Valaki to a different leadership, shall we say, for better or worse. And we have dealt with the werewolves north of Kresk. However, we are not flawless people. We still have a lot to do. We have to still follow our senses and our knowledge from Mata Eva to recover these artifacts. We have a mission here. We cannot lose sight of that, despite what we have done. And time is ticking. It seems like it slips through our hands every single day. The faster we can get through this land, the faster I can free Illyria.
Free this place. Saborovia. Yes.
Oh, that too.
Most important. And I see what you're saying. Victor is a little shit who deserves what's coming for him, but we have things to do.
Is not the thing that is keeping this valley enshrouded.
I am curious if there is maybe a memory that gets knocked as we go towards our next destination, because you've had a lot of time to wallow in your tree and, well, maybe being able to stride once more. Maybe you mull around some things that didn't make sense to you back then. Because we are trying to resolve this mystery at the end of the story. And you're the only person here that was there at the beginning.
I shall do my best. Though, there is plenty I do not know here. Especially about the current affairs of, well, everything.
The good news, Jivkos, is that everything is fucked up and changing.
Yes.
So, I mean, same, really.
Fair enough. Just be patient if there is something I require clarification on.
Right, okay, then the only thing that you have to worry about right now is probably inflation has increased, so don't try and, like, you know, try and give a small amount of money for something very expensive. Like, let me handle.
What's inflation?
Like, back when Jivkos was, around, I'm sure, like, you could buy a whole suit of armor for, like, I don't know, a bag of rice.
Why? Was there more rice back then?
Quality rice, you know.
We're walking. We're focusing on walking. Speed, guys.
I was gonna say, Jivkos doesn't even have any fucking money. He has nothing.
Like, you turn in and out, you're like maggot-eaten pockets, and all you find is grave dirt.
Yeah, that probably
He
worth
would clean that out at least, but yeah. No longer carry around dirt from his fucking grave for a couple hundred years.
It's like when you, like, go to the beach and you just...
Oh no,
Find
sand everywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, isn't all of Barovia grave dirt?
Fucking hell, everything is.
Well, anyway, you're on your merry little way through the Autumn Grove forest, and it is not as sinister as it used to be, walking with the now owner of the place. The shadows of the trees casting these rays of light through the canopy of the filtered light above. They don't dance or twist as much as they did before. The trees seems slightly more vibrant than they used to be, showing off a myriad of different hues of red, yellow, green. And the mist is not as thick as it used to be, hiding and simmering in between the trees. And eventually, Amartya, you're, very, very confident as you stride through this place. You know it in the back of your hand when you lived here and grew up here, all these forest paths as you scavenged and took care of whatever needs or orders the squalls had for you. But now you also feel it in a different way. It's like a foresight of knowing what's around you, even though you're not actively perceiving it with your physical senses. And Dusty, after just another 5 minutes more walking, you just switch path quickly into the woods, into just a random patch of wood that has no seemingly mark or anything of interest. And there among the canopy, just a shy 50 meters from the small path you've been wandering, there is just a black mark on the ground of like charred roots and charred grass and blackened earth, in the pattern of a teleportation circle.
I open up my book to the pages where I've been tracking the teleportation circles, and I begin sketching the runes and the patterns, the address basically of this teleportation circle.
Yeah. Make me an assisted roll, advantage through areas, who kind of goes over to you and whispers some things into, your ear, and you converse and discuss this. Make me, I think in this regard, a cool Connie.
I will guidance myself too.
Yeah. Pat yourself on the head.
I mean, more like, giving myself reassuring messages. You've done this before. Or basically, his reassurance is, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up.
What a high standard.
21.
21! Okay. Okay, that is pretty good. Considering also with areas here with you.
Maximum don't fuck up in this.
He's looking over your shoulder. You can't fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Peer pressure.
Victor tried to create an actual teleportation circle with the address of something. He talked about the book that taught him a lot, with an address in a book that was mentioned there, something that he thought was outside of Barovia. And no matter how hard he tried to make this full teleportation circle with this address, it just didn't end up wanting to work. Flickering, with magic, as in it is turned on and should be working, but something is not right. And indeed, you find signs that it had cutting off limbs whilst trying to use it. This teleportation circle is far less complex. Its conjuration matrix is just off teleport, but it has not really any address, just a function of teleportation.
Oh, like random spot?
Or to anywhere you want.
Or it doesn't need to.
Or it's just a receiving only?
Yeah, perhaps, but it doesn't seem to be a need, or it has been excluded from the teleportation circle, like a specific address. It's very, very, it is rudimentary.
Almost like it's point A to point B only. Okay, I will detail this information down as being different, and with like annotations around the circle to say like this is different, it's simpler, something weird happening here. Not weird, just more like the understanding of the scope of teleportation circle is not as, one-dimensional, so to speak.
Indeed. Indeed.
Okay.
Good.
We do that.
You do that. Irius is also like, graphing with you. Oh, interesting. I mean, I wonder why. And like mirroring this with you. Is it just random? Is it somehow already ingrained into it? Or is it just from A to B, as you said? Yeah, discussing different theories with you.
He like starts pointing at how I'm drawing things, and I slap his hand away. Like,
you can use some refinement, but okay, it's your book.
I don't know how you did it in the Protectorate, but you bother me.
Okay. Stand aside.
No. You're all good. You're very helpful, and it's good to have a soundboard. But sometimes you just have to concentrate, and maybe this and that. Look, it is. It's not like we're trying to have friction here. It's just I appreciate that you're trying to help, but when you overhelp, you're an overhelper.
I see. Joseph complained about that as well. I just care. But yes, I really didn't. I could see how it's distracting.
Look, I don't I don't mean to squash your creativity, but read the room or read the teleportation cycle.
I am.
Nix gives him a side eye, like he didn't get the joke.
No, he did not.
It's like, Okay, I'm almost done here. We're not going to use this. It seems like I'm not quite sure I understand exactly what this teleportation circle's deal is, but it seems simpler, and there must be an exact reason for that. But daylight is burning, and we do have stones to investigate.
Yes.
Alright, are we done looking at circles?
Yes, please. It's giving me PTSD.
Alright, but let's go look at some interesting stones. Who likes archaeology? Or gemology? Or
Germology?
geology?
That's what Lyria's doing right now.
Gemology.
I think I've maybe it's astrology. I don't know. I've read about one of these in my books once.
Astrology is the stars.
Rockology.
I thought this. Wait, the stars aren't there like the little white dots that you have when you're not in Barovia?
Yes.
All right, we're walking.
Used to have them.
And Lyria goes zooming off. All right, you follow suit, and walking through the autumn grove. This time there is no distractions. Small voices that force you to go this way or that way, or little children enticing you to run over brambles. All of that has seemingly been deactivated, and you're unbothered on your way through it. And 20 minutes or so later, Hamaria, you come upon the physical and mental barrier of the Autumn Grove and where your lair ends. And there's just a very, very faint shimmer in the air, a little bit like how Fidata was, but not as noticeable. And past it, there is rain and the thick, dark Svalich woods beyond.
Alright, this is where my influence ends, so I'm back to being a regular old Thames.
You're more than that, Amatia.
Yes, but now I'm not a witch. Okay, let's move.
I don't think any of us are regular.
What even with the most regular sort of people in the whole world? I've never seen more regular people than us. And she's going to change into your average Valaki Joe Schmo with like a farmer's hat and being the most like stereotypical farmer as possible. Yes, this is the best regular people I've ever seen. Look how irregular I look.
He gives a laugh.
Maybe it's just me, but when you use the term regular that often, I can't help but think you're talking about my bowels.
And why would that be?
Because the regular kind of means, pooping.
It does?
Regular pooping.
I haven't read about it in my books. Nix, you're telling me something really weird right now.
Okay, we're walking.
It seems all you wish to do is walk.
It's more about fleeing, whatever that is.
Fair enough.
By the way, Wiwu,
No?
every time Hamatia changes form, you hear the sounds of bones cracking and snapping into place.
Pleasant. Alright. Hell yeah.
That's
Some other
me
torture.
every day.
Oh, yeah.
Fun fact.
So fun.
Okay, Hamartia, stepping through the barrier is somewhat troubling for you. It's, for a moment, a little bit hard to let go. There's this little part of your subconscious that is like, this feels so good. We have so much power. We are so comfortable here. Why are we leaving it behind?
Yes, but she feels a little bit of a longing back, but she musters up her willpower and steps away.
And stepping through it, it hurts you a little bit, like a connection being shut off, a limb being cut off, something just not there in your head anymore, something that felt natural, and you feel empty without it. And as soon as you step into the normal world beyond, you get soaked by a heavy rainfall, welcoming you back to Barovia.
It's getting used to it being, decent weather, but shame on me for thinking that Barovia is anything but. I don't necessarily mind the rain so much, but I haven't had good sleep for a while, right? We've been on the road for a while. I haven't had the opportunity to comb my hair for a while. So, I mean, not that I'm whining, but I'm whining.
You are whining.
Guess. I mean, look, I don't think Jivkos combed his fur in a while as well.
I don't.
Jivkos doesn't seem to like giving two shits about the rain. He is getting soaked through.
Amati, are you comparing me to Jivkos?
No, I'm just saying that, sometimes when you're out there camping, surviving, you have priorities. Like I'd rather eat something and not be eaten, or I'd rather not get caught by my psycho family so that they'll torture me for running away. Priorities. You sometimes don't care about your hair.
I feel like those are very fair priorities.
Are we walking?
Yeah, we're walking. We're just like Mrs.
They're walking as they
Martin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Are you trying to like? I've read a book about people saying that it's really healthy to walk a certain distance at a time. Are you perhaps maybe you think we haven't done too much walking the past couple of days because we've been on the manor? Do you think we're not in shape or something?
Nick's just like with a deflated look at Tamatia, just points at his hair.
I do not think vanity is a priority in these mists.
Everyone has their own priorities, Mr. Undead.
Nix, where did the whole I think we're wasting time, we need to be somewhere attitude go?
It went when the rain came, okay?
Sure.
You want me to carry you or something?
My legs are fine. It's just, it's fucking wet.
And
Do
you want us to do anything about that?
Wait, do you want the umbrella? We have an umbrella.
Yeah, you can borrow the umbrella for me. I don't mind about the weather.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
We
yeah,
can
go
share. We
ahead.
can share the umbrella earlier. We just have to stay close.
Match. Oh. I'm okay with that.
Nick's like takes the umbrella, opens up the umbrella, and like holds his arm out to her for her to take it, and they're going to, you know, in a much more he slicks his hair back in a nice sort of quiff way, and like gives a much more content look, and basically in a rainy sequence in an off-road in Barovia, they go for a stroll.
God.
We're singing in the rain. We're
It's
singing
in the
rain.
Wonderful.
You know, holding elbows,
you're
locking
okay.
elbows with each other, you know. Having to
Trudging in the mud.
backstep, you know. And Illyria giggles a little bit. It's pretty nice.
Martha
Yeah,
is going to get
helps.
jealous, so she's going to do the same thing with Soul, but with her finger. It's like a pinky.
Saul is practicing his karate by like trying to hit like rain droplets.
Oh my god, he's adorable.
Trying to do like the move like master like Uwe with the water droplet. He's being way too aggressive about it, and he can't keep one single droplet like intact with surface tension. So he's just
Boom.
he's just beating droplets as they go past him.
Okay, I think we're on the road now.
And
Yeah.
we're there.
As they're going,
Oh my
Jivkos-
god, we made it!
God,
As they go,
guys.
Jivkos is gonna just one every hour-ish use his innate tracking thing to see where his target is. Strahd.
Oh, tracking Strahd.
Yes, because he is currently doing that.
Yeah, right. I need to read up on the specifics
Yeah. I think it
of
just
the
tells me, like
ability.
direction and distance as long as it's over a certain amount.
For sure. Revenant.
To an accuracy of
Revenant.
100 meters, you know, the distance and
Oh.
direction.
Damn, fuck. Now I need to calculate this. What have I done to myself?
You could do a rough,
Thank you.
like, they're around this area in Barovia. Because he knows Barovia. He has a map of it in his head.
At least 500 years ago, Barovia.
Yeah. But
Cool.
some things were there. And also they have gone around Barovia in recent years.
He is roughly 5-6 days journey. Southeast. No, east. Southeast.
I was gonna say southeast. Where is that?
So more east than south, but somewhat south.
Would he have an idea where that might actually be?
Well, go ahead.
The castle.
I don't know how far away is it.
Because we're like here.
Mm-hmm.
And you said southeast?
Yeah,
By about
I'm
6
gonna
days.
hide my thingy here, so I...
Oh,
okay,
so you-
more, 3-4 days?
Okay, yeah.
3-4 days southeast?
Yeah, more east and south.
So like all the way over there.
More like 3. Looking at it now.
This is like a
This is like-
day.
This is like a day, maybe 2. To get all the way to Barovia.
Yeah, traveling as in you travel 8 hours or maximum 10, right?
I thought you meant... Well, it depends on how his ability
My
sort
dis-
of
Well,
triggers.
I'm-
is it by
I'm
the crow
conv-
flies or is it by road? Like his ability tracks
it's
road?
by
Road.
crow flying, but I'm converting it into days traveled for normal
Oh.
speed. Because I don't know the kilometer distance.
Right.
So village Barovia probably.
Yeah. I think so. Well, it's if he is around Village of Barovia Ravenloft, that's not anything to really pass on, I think. Like, yeah.
Okay.
If they were anywhere else, I think it would be, but
Yeah.
that's sort of where he hangs out, so good to know.
Hmm. Oh, oops. One more. Yes. 30 minutes or so later, you exit off the off-road chute that leads to Squall Manor, walking past all of those little effigies in the woods, the various little trinkets and warnings that Morgantha has put out of "Stay away, this is my place," and you step out onto the familiar mud of the Swallish Road. It heads westward a little bit up on onto the apex of like this hilly area that you're on, and then will eventually climb down into the valley of Vallaki, or you can turn east and continue cresting on these meadowy highlands, where it is rather hilly. Perhaps towards, indeed, Castle Ravenloft, Falls, Sir Pool, and the village of Barovia.
I think if it's still raining, there's not much other than focus on the road.
Mm-hmm.
What Nix wants to do, rain kind of just destroys that. So paper doesn't go well with wet.
No,
Oh
sadly
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Sadly not. It is an uneventful trek as you start heading eastward and southward over this meadowy highland. You know this road. You have walked a bit back and forth here in the past, especially you, Nix. But in the past the high of afternoon, closing in on sundown or the beginning of sunset around 4-5 p.m. in the evening, the rain makes it hard to hear and also obscures a little bit of the path in front of you. But on the long stretches, not being obscured by twists and turns, you can see the outline of humanoid figures traveling in the same direction you are, but you're catching up on them.
I didn't expect people on the road in this weather, but I suppose I think there are other people in Barovia but us.
I'm not sure how they may react to my form, but if they are familiar with you, perhaps better.
Irius pulls kind of the cloak around him even further, kind of covering up his face like a twitchy, like Middle Eastern woman, you know, like really hiding underneath it all, and his voice kind of coming up a little bit muffled through the layers of cloth. Is it good for me to be seen?
Are you being tracked, Irius?
Why would it not be?
As somebody who was actually tousled a bit with Strahd, I am a little bit worried if he knows I'm still here
Are
and
you
not crazy.
concerned? Because if it means that you need to be disguised, we have the means to do that.
I think I'm just gonna hang back and hide a little.
If you wish, I may stay with you. I'm unsure how they would take to knowing that one of the Knights of the Silver Dragon were back in their own mind.
We seem to be catching up on them. It would be a little bit awkward to travel in their pace. Perhaps we could take like a little detour through the forest around them. Maybe you could carry me.
Wait,
Sure. I may.
they could just be commoners, you know? Hamati and I can go ahead and see who they are.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. We we have 3 people with very presentable faces. Let's say it like that way. I mean,
I hate
2.5.
throwing it around, but I do have a reputation.
and I can be whatever I need to be. So
As can I.
yes, shapeshifters, and she's going to like give you a high five. She's gonna put a hand for a high five and go, shapeshifters! Come on!
Nix looks like perplexed at like what a high five is.
Yeah, it's something I've read about in the book. I do it with Sol all the time. Here, Sol.
Yeah. Saul holds up one of his very, very small feet and high fives with you.
The little toesies.
Sure. I high five very awkwardly, maybe a little over aggressively and without any grace.
Wow, that was aggressive.
I think
I'm sorry,
Rain
it's my
is
first
super
time.
affected on you because it seems like you've lost your mojo.
I'm wet.
Yes.
Stop complaining, perhaps.
Let's catch up with them and see what they have to say. I think I can use my name in many cases.
Good. We have Lady Saint-Hilaire on our side.
Yeah.
You know, good.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, we continue walking without a care in the world.
All right.
Well,
Irius and
Duvkos stand back.
stray a little bit back, and so you're in eyesight of each other and earshot, but definitely in the back. Okay. It seems to be a pretty big group of people traveling. It's hard to tell who they are, since they're very much heavily cloaked and clothed as well against the rain and the weather. Seems to be a dozen or so people shuffling through the mud in a rather lazy speed. One of the cloaked figures kind of halts and look behind themselves, and there seems to be a pause. They seem to notice you, and there's like a shout that echoes to you with a very authoritative voice going, "Stop! Who goes there?" And you can see somebody is about to draw something from a belt.
Nick says, we go there. No aggressive highwaymen, just travelers.
the figure turns and shouts to somebody else that seems to be further up, like in this little group traveling, and the whole group stops. Another like lively figures come through the group of dozens or so people, and these two that seems to be more authoritative and active seems to talk to each other. One of them stays behind, and the one who shouted first kind of very slowly starts walking to you, and there seems to be a humanoid face trying to discern who you are, still having like a hand on a weapon that is halfway drawn underneath the cloak. And as they are perhaps 20 or so steps away, you see like a pale face. Doesn't seem to much be a lot of hair underneath the cloak itself, but there is a big, pretty well taken care of ginger beard. And over their shoulder, this cloak that they're wearing is in the colors of black, dark blue, with a big red W on the back. On top of a rudimentary shield. And you actually, Nyx Illyria, recognize him as Vadim.
We saw him as a guard within Vallaki, right?
Yes, indeed. Vadim was one of the two guards that you interrogated, having unwittingly aided Lydia to escape. You were escorted there by Adrian Arasek, who asked you to like inquire what really happened here, because they think that there were use of magic and they wanted your expertise to find out what really happened. And you questioned Vadim and another girl, a female guard, and then there was a dead guard in the house as well that had been murdered in Lydia's escape. And he... Oh, yeah.
Does he look like he recognizes us?
Yes, the
Okay.
the eyes kind of widen, and he loosens his hand on the hand axe, and it kind of puts back into his belt, and he raises up a hand. Hail, Saint Illyria and Nyx. Long time no see.
Long time.
And he
And-
gives like an official bow to both of you.
Bow? A bow.
A bow. Okay, English. Yeah, a bow.
I'm sure Illyria doesn't need the formalities on the road to Vallaki. It's been a while. Where have you been since we last saw you?
Morning, Lord. I'm happy that it was you and not something else on the roads. It's still not entirely safe, but at least with Lady Wakta's aid behind us, there's no wolves who have bothered us, at least. My official task is to move these Alvars to the village. Dunja is here with me as well, over there with the rest of them. Dunja being the female guard that you met as well.
Okay, all the harvests?
Oh, no. What we could afford to lose. To help with the fort. For that group moving in, I think.
Oh, right. Workers on the fortifications.
Yes, Lady Water has put all the halberds to work, and these lot were assigned to the village as a gift to Burgomistress Lydia.
Right, of course. Lady Vaktar has obviously kept us in the loop since she has made Illyria a saint. So, of course, she would keep us apprised whenever she had the chance. So feel free to speak as candidly as you like about the operations and how far have they gotten so far.
Well, then you're more in the loop than I am, Sernix. I guess just the foundations. As of yet, we're there to establish some kind of contact and help in whatever way we can. I actually wish to ask you if you seem so knowledgeable. Just a couple of days ago, we learned that a Cantemir became burgomaster of the village after the late Kolyan. But now it is Lady Lydia Petrovna that is the burgomistress? Is this good, Saint Illyria? Leah looks nervously to you, Dix.
Of course, this is down to Lady Vactor's choice, after all. To a certain degree, I think there is some collusions with others to ensure that the right people are in the right place. But we've been out of the loop a little bit. We've been on our own mission, taking care of some situations out west, and then we have only recently come back to the Lucky area. So we're not fully in the loops because of this, and Lady Vactor has not kept in contact with us. Clearly, she's always busy. But for the time being, we are just on the way back to Valaki now to regroup.
But you're traveling towards the village?
No. Well, we were doing some errands, and you don't need to know about the specifics of what Lady Vactor and Saint Illyria are taking care of. Everything is in hand.
Oh, no,
It's just-
I wouldn't assume. No, I was just worried. Lady Lydia Petrovna, you were there. She manipulated me and Dunya with magic to help her escape, and being the late wife of the burgomaster, the former burgomaster of Valaki, I'm a little bit worried and just wanted to know if you were safe over in the village.
I would suggest you don't go there. If you can handle it, if you can help it, rather.
But we've been ordered by Lady Wachter to move these Alvas.
Well, sure, but you can just tell them, hey, there's the village, off you go.
We were supposed to protect them or oversee them, but perhaps we can send them in and then watch for in a distance and see what happens.
Why not?
I like that. Thank you. Thank you for your advice.
I mean, that just seems sensible.
Yes.
Okay. Well, anything else that you've encountered along the way?
Very little. It's been very calm. It's unusual.
And when you came to your senses after, Lydia's influence had, subsided, where were you?
At the gates with Dunja, the eastern gates. As I said before, we both woke up from some kind of strange dream that we can't remember, and apparently I helped her with a horse and a saddle and opened the gates for her, and then a couple of minutes afterwards I came to my senses and I was apprehended and then brought to Lydia's safe house, so she was given, and then you came to interrogate us.
Right. Listen, Vadim. Can I call you Vadim, by the way?
Of course, Sir Nix.
Look, we know each other, right? We've had a little bit of back and forth. You know, we look out for each other. We're on the same side, right?
I would hope so.
Of course. So,
By the Morning Lord.
Look. By the Morning Lord, indeed.
And Mother Night.
And both equally and oppositely. Yes, absolutely. Between you and us, Vadim, things are taking a little bit of a obscure turn that warrants caution. We are trying to do our best as per our duties, and we are sorely lacking in allies when there are so many opportunities for failure. And you know how Lady Vacta, can tolerate failure. It's one of her things, right?
Definitely more so, sir, than Valakovich ever was.
Right. So, basically, I would recommend that you find a safe place to stay away from both Valaki and Barovia. Find a nice sort of cabin along a lake or, away from people for a time, and I will cover for you. Lady Illyria will cover for you. And
Yes, of
say
course I
that
will.
there was, attacks, and you're doing your best to set up camp. And we'll be purposefully vague, okay?
Attacks?
No, there are no attacks, but you're pretending there are attacks.
But Lady Wachter assured us that we would be safe. Now, that the devil is with us.
Yeah, Vadim, I get the feeling you're not picking up what I'm putting down.
Is something going to happen to Valaki, sir?
Yes, you're not going to be there.
But my family, sir.
Oh, right. You've got the family. Oh, of course, yes. So, who are your family again?
My parents, I'm helping to take care of them. Dunya has her sister.
Uh-huh. Right. Okay, well, we'll look out for them.
But if it's so dire that I have to hide, don't they need to as well?
Nix is starting to feel like he's not gonna get anywhere with this guy. Say, look, I'm just giving you an inside tip. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That things may be a little bit difficult. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Get it?
I guess I'm not entirely sure what you're hinting towards there, Sir Nix. I was never the one with understanding of reading between the lines or innuendo, or so my parents would tell me, but
No shit. I mean,
I
you're doing
guess
fine.
we're supposed to be away for a while delivering the halvers to the village, so maybe we do just that, and then...
And it's taking a little longer?
We're supposed to stay for a while, so I guess that's according to my orders. We just need to watch them from far away.
Very, very far away.
That is according... I think that will suit what the orders have been given. And my duty is upheld. And I will hopefully not make you worry, Lady Saint. I don't think that should be the priority of all of this, but sounds good.
Great.
Perfect. Well, as you were. And then he bows again.
Nix looks to Illyria like this was the most freaking cringe interaction with the dumbest guard.
And he walks up to the group of people, and you can see now, and you recognize them for what they are, the Halivers, because they're kind of standing off and staring into nothing, or not really talking or interacting with each other, like being half alive, like you have observed them to be. And Vaden goes over to talk to Dunya, and there's a quick conversation, and Dunya looks over to you, and she bows several times as well, and waves, and they all kind of like usher herd the halbers to the side of the road to let you pass.
Nix gives like a reassuring wave. I think we're all good.
You pick up pace again, and then awkwardly you move closer, and then past them. The halbers only give you these suspicious, angry, or fearful looks as you pass. And then, yeah, the younger guard who had shorter, kind of brown hair and like intelligent brown eyes, she greets you as you pass, and she quickly says, "He might not be able to understand what you were saying, but I do. Thank you. We shall keep away for a while."
Nix gives a thumbs up. Actually, no. Nix does like a Hamachi's high five.
Oh my god.
Danya gives you like a quizzical look, and then like high fives you lightly.
Nice.
Good job, Nix.
Jivkos looks kind of intently at the harbours as they go past because he has no idea what they are.
Yeah, like what are they? Are they like not
People
mentally there, or are they like sick?
Yeah. And he'll just give the guards a nod.
They kind of stare at you as you pass. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And thankfully, you take up a lot of attention, so the little like cloaked figure beside you can scurry past without being
I'm imagining
seen.
they're not able to actually make out much of Jivkos thanks to the just like mist
Yes.
and rain, but he's
Yeah, but
still-
you're also very tall.
yeah, and horns and
Yeah,
everything else.
and muscular and everything else. So they're still like staring at you as you
Yeah.
passed, not really saying anything. But there's a wave from Danya who seems way more open and casual, and smart. As Vadim again very very strictly kind of bow to your fading shapes as you walk past them.
Okay, crisis averted.
Woo! What was the crisis? I do not understand what half of the things you said were.
It was more that this guy was a bit gullible, and if they had mentioned to anyone that they had met us on the road, our position might have been compromised, and we want to try and keep a low key whilst we do our own investigations. Our last interaction with being at the hill, we kind of pissed off Strahd quite a bit, and anyone basically who is likely to mention that they have seen us could bring us down.
So anyone may be not in our best interests.
We want to keep a low profile for now.
I cannot promise much of a low profile, but I
As
shall
much as
attempt.
possible.
We're just if we can avoid being seen, we shall avoid it, but not to an unreasonable extent, I believe.
It's unfortunate, but it's important that we're as unnoticeable as possible, as Nick said.
Is it best to be traveling by road?
I don't think anything else is safe.
That is fair.
But maybe if we're heading into the swamps and we're not gonna take the risks with the teleportation circles, perhaps it's faster to cut through the country than having to go all the way back through Vallaki and then, well, to Argynmostholt and past that to get to the swamps.
it may be of, well, use.
Well, that's then. We should hurry up before we lose too much daylight.
Agreed.
Yes, let's go. We're walking.
You're walking.
Walking and talking.
You're walking.
I'm
It.
walking here. I'm walking.
I'm walking there.
What are you looking at?
You're looking at another 4 or so hours of a trek, continuing to kind of a little bit of a serpentine road that kind of lazily goes past meadows and like more hilly, craggy kind of stone meadows as well. In between, like into a foresty patch and then out into a meadowy area and also around forested areas, hugging kind of the edges of what was perhaps once upon a time agricultural farmlands or something akin, or gracelands. The rain over the course of the late afternoon and evening starts to slowly become lighter and lighter, and an hour or so after sundown, deciding to push through the darkness, considering most of you have dark vision, and Soul can help light your way, Hamartia. You decide to push all the way to the Standing Stones tonight, rather than lose more time. During this, good. During this afternoon trek, is there any important conversations you want to have, or is it just listening to the rain?
Not yet. Not without Deliria here.
All right.
Nope.
Okay.
I actually want to ask something. Yes. You've got a question.
Hmm?
Do you feel the rain?
Yes.
So you have a nervous system.
It is different.
How
It is
so?
dulled, I would say. Like everything is there, but it is not fully connected. It is not. It's a distance.
Would you like to find a way to perhaps reconnect what was severed? To truly feel again?
Do you mean reverse my undeath?
I don't know about reversing undeath. That sounds like some powerful magic that we might not possess at the moment.
I'm not aware of any magic, even in the most legendary of times, that can revive one so long dead.
I do wish we could experience things, you know? It's kind of sad. I might look for a way to, if you consent, of course, to perhaps let you smell flowers again, or feel the gentle tap of rain, not as something dull, but as something gentle.
I would love that. If there is much of a possibility.
I will try
what,
to
but
look for it on the way. I cannot promise anything, but I think you're a good soul, and you should probably deserve to. Well, I didn't mean any offense by saying it, but to live a little.
I do wish to. So your compassion is greatly appreciated on the matter.
I think we're moving on.
Okay. I was decided something else was gonna be said there. Okay, so sunset becomes evening. The rain kind of simmers off more and more, and as you come upon the fork in the road, the rain has dimmed down to a very, very light pitter-patter. This fork, this little road goes off on your left hand, smaller, mud-filled, disappears into a thin wall of trees, and through it you can see the outline of a hill clear of trees, and from which on top of it is the remains of a stone building, blackened by intense heat. Beside the fork in the road, there's that old and rotten wooden sign that hangs from a pole, depicting a windmill with faded paint, a name that has been crossed over and replaced with new paint that states Granny's Homemade Pies. Old memories, weeks past, flood your memory of meeting Essie on your way from the castle in the black carriage, of outrunning the wolves in the trees, of Kelvin complaining about spying ravens, of ghost children demanding their fun, and of the eventual gruesome discovery that prompted the fiery destruction of the old creaking windmill that once stood here.
We carry on.
Alright. Past the mill, past the hill that you quickly climb up, you hardly cast many glances on the stone building. There's nothing here. Clearly somebody has been here and scavenged, because there are several pieces of furniture and things that were outside of the tower that has been taken. You remember that there were some wagons and chicken coops and pigs out here once upon a time, and written angrily in a kind of dark reddish brown liquid on the base of the windmill, on that blackened sooty exterior of the stone, it says, "I will have my revenge," very angrily.
No, you didn't.
Well, she kind of had, and then you had yours. But you quickly look past its history now, and down the hill again, leading down to the tree of the line of trees. Down there, past the hill, you can see that blackened piece of the Swallowed Woods, where there's not any single leaf growing, not a single strand of grass growing, not any wildlife at all, and the dirt is just blackened and just devoid of green. And hazily through the rain and the mist, you can also see that concentration of mist, indeed, moving in a anti-clockwise movement.
It looks exactly the same as when we first encountered it.
Yes.
Well, I'm out here. You made it.
Oh, dear me. Yes. So can you give me some light here, please?
You bring out the stone to give you some light?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I may or may not get funky wonky with an elemental, and I may or may not be thrown into the air, convulse. I don't really know what's going to happen to me. But it's all perfectly fine, yes. It's just part of the job for people like us. Yes.
Well, we're here for you, Hamatia. This is important. Anything you
Yes.
need, just say.
Thank you. It is a greatly appreciated gesture. But I'm afraid that this part of our little journey I must tread alone. Be careful and, take care of me if I become unconscious or something.
Before you go, Hamatia,
Yes.
this isn't mine and Illyria's first time here. And when we were last here, I did take some rubbings that gave some explanation about some stones. There are names on them, and there are sayings. So, here they are, if you need them. And Nix will take the page with the stone text on them
Mm-hmm.
and give to Hamatia.
Ooh, okay, what are the names?
You the Infernal reads out in Infernal is just short words. Their submission, corruption, power, superiority, claim, curse, steal, siphon, and master. One for each stone. And just as you saw the Irvin stones, these red angry infernal is written in like a half circle around the opening at the top of the stone, where it spews out a blood kind of liquid that trickles down the inside of the stone and then pools into the little pool of blood in between the stones. And the other rubbings that you didn't know what it said for a long time since it was primordial, read in the order that you took them down in. Dawn a heartbeat away, hope a sunrise away, when still cold, dark and cruel, breath you must hold, self you must protect, life nursed and is grey by death, a gale of winter turn, gentle breeze of promise.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, it seems I understand this part, this primordial. I get it.
You get it?
Yes, I get it.
And looking through your notes, right? Because you took down the Earthstone as well, right?
Yes.
In primordial and everything. That one had another order of the infernal words, but they were still the same. And the Earthstone word said this.
I understand all of it.
Which is gross ability within and without destruction summons twice the creation. Beyond this constant, nothing is endless. New seasons, seeds, new blooms. Dawn a heartbeat away, hope a sunrise away. When still and cold, dark and cruel, remain grounded.
I understand all of it.
Do you know what it means, though?
It seems like a poem or perhaps a prayer.
Well, yes, but it's also a prophecy, something like this. I don't know. I maybe perhaps thought that you would know, but look, if it makes any difference to what you're about to do, That's all I'm intending to try and provide.
I don't know. I shall try. And good luck. Marty is going to approach the stones.
Okay. They appear a little bit spookily for you since you don't have dark vision, Amardia.
Yes.
You come upon the line of mist circling around these stones, and in the mist you can see the vague outlines of humanoid figures dancing in a revelry.
Hello again, all of you. I hope you are nice people. Right. So, this is as far as you go. I can't stand to see you hurt again.
No!
Oh, fine, I'll summon you once more. Fine, soldier. Let's go in.
for light!
Yes, it's true enough.
You are my steed. I tell you where to go.
Thank you.
Yes. How dare you? It's very cold here. Not like a wintry cold where it's below minus and water is freezing, but it's certainly chilly to the point where your breath comes out as puffs of white smoke. And once you're through that outer line of misty dancers that don't seem to react to any kind of interaction, there is not a single sliver of mist beyond. Just dark, black, dead forest and an underbrush and the stones beyond, with a slight reddish glow coming from the center of the pool itself, which is gurgling and bubbling. You notice as you come closer, it is active, unmoored. It is not, well, certainly not still, and you don't remember it being this way.
Hamatia is going to try and listen to the wind and see if innate connection signals something.
Okay. Make me a an empathy with your spellcasting ability modifier.
Empathy, manipulation, then. 24.
Nice.
Damn. As you stop and still, taking one slight last step forward, the stones kind of shiver in place, and then they forcefully burst out of the ground. There's like a rain of dirt and roots that have kind of taken hold of them, and they vibrate for some time in place. They're kind of move from side to side, like they're not completely balanced for a second, and they kind of jerk into motion, continuing to hover and levitate anti-clockwise together with the dancing mists. But they do so jerkily and not smoothly as they did before, kind of wobbling up and down, spinning on his axis, kind of changing speed and position from time to time. It doesn't look as unified, and there's not as much harmony as you watched them before. And after looking at them for a while, you close your eyes and you try to return to that lost part of yourself, that melody that you engulfed yourself within when you accepted the Autumn Grove as your lair. And you have started to become more and more attuned to nature in Barovia because of your special heritage and how they have touched you, these elemental beings, a few times, and granted you powers, revealed powers within you. And you often listen to the wind after this event and just heard this sad moan, this pain, and sometimes even a distant scream on the wind. Now it's more erratic, and rather than being this melancholic, outdrawn kind of moan in sadness, it's more of a jagged, random puffs of madness and pain that comes and goes in small and randomized lengths of outbursts.
Just going to take a step closer. I want to free you. Your captor is dead. Show me. How do I release you?
The stones twist. One more stone passes through your eye line, 2, 3, and when the fourth goes past you, they suddenly jerk to a stop and then start vibrating in place, not struggling anymore, just painfully holding themselves in place, vibrating just slightly.
Okay. We're going to take another step. Wait,
Oh, you're stuck in a tree. You're stuck in a tree.
No, let me out. Cut the shit. She's going to step a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to look to the same stone she touched all this time ago.
Oh, strangely enough, it is this one.
I don't know if it's possible. She is going to whisper, "Please let me help you." And she is going to cast Healing Word on the stone.
Okay,
If it's a
make
thing.
me a soul check.
Yes. 11. Oh no.
You just begin casting the spell. You say the words, you bring out the little red soul dancing in your hand. The spell goes off, but how does a healing spell again look for Hamartia? What is kind of like the...
It's just she lets out a soft whisper in the wind that once the person hears it, it almost glows slightly and the body heals.
All right. That whisper on your wind is stolen from your lungs. A little wisp of like cold air. You can see it being drawn from your mouth and the soul and it is drawn to the pool and disappears within its core underneath the surface, and the pool kind of pulsates red for a second and then calms down.
No, that was a good thing. He's going to touch the stone.
All right, you touch the stone.
Give it a good touch.
God.
The rest of you, like before, but Arius and Jibcos hasn't seen this. Hamorthia's body stiffens immediately as her fingertips touch the stone, almost like there's like electricity going through her body as her kind of back arches and her whole body just goes stiff as if a lightning bolt goes through her, and her head kind of snaps back and up, and her eyes open wide, and there's just white.
This is normal. I've seen this before. She can take it. She's strong.
Are you sure that looks really dangerous?
I
should know.
Trust me. I cringed hard, but it's what she can do. Her body is used to it. She's built for this.
Sure.
Okay,
We watch.
Hamorthia, like before, the ground underneath your feet disappear. You are in free fall. Everything is black as night, and you fall and fall into an abyss. Your stomach lurches, your mouth is screaming. Even if you have experienced this in the past, it's still very, very dizzying. Then you come to that vicious stop. The air in your lungs stolen from you. Your body aches. But you're not damaged or hurt. And you find yourself on a smooth, obsidian-like, cool surface. And there's just mist on the ground around you. And just darkness everywhere you look.
Okay. I look for Soul. He's not here, isn't he? Okay.
There is actually a little green fey light dancing around you, like in your hair.
Oh, dear God, you're just the best.
But there's no voice that comes from it, nor does it really have a shape, but it kind of like a like a mosquito kind of buzzes around your head.
Okay, we're in this together now, you and me. I hope you can hear me.
Light scatters suddenly across the horizon, almost like a lightning crash. And for a second, through that sudden burst of light, you can see massive shapes in the distance. A towering mountaintop, a tornado, and a whirlpool at its side. And then everything goes dark as the light of that weird lightning bolt dissipates.
Yes. I'm here. Morganfa is dead. A first step in your freedom. if you have the information on what you need to free you, please lend it. I heard your cries. I hear your pain and I share in your suffering. We share the same abuser. And let us share the same fate of victory over this cursed land. Please help me. Help you.
Lightning crashes again, thundering through this barren landscape. You see those huge forces of nature again in the far, far distance, kilometers, miles, who knows how far. But connecting them all is a point of light several hundreds of meters in front of you, where you can see the shadows of 3 women being connected to gigantic iron chains that goes off far up into the air and into the distance, connecting the 3 elemental creatures. It goes black again, then lightning flashes once more, and it's almost like a lightning storm. And whenever the light suddenly flashes through this dark space, the scene kind of trembles closer to you, jumping closer for each flash of light. And it's staggering. It's a little bit like a car crash about to hit you. The last crack of lightning just leaves the space alit as the scene suddenly appears just meters in front of you. And once again, you can see the humanoid forms of the 3 naked female hags before you. Chains attaching from their backs, from their flesh itself, and disappears within them. They hold out their right hands, palms exposed, towards a sleeping figure in between the 3 of them. There is stones coming out of the hands of Rin, wind out of the hands of Morgantha, and water from Babalisaga, and together they coalesce into a dome of energy above Strahd. You see that Morgantha's form is deathly pale, and her skin is marked with like dirt, as if she has been like rolling around in the dirt, and the mortal wounds that killed her is present on her naked figure. The eyes are glazed over and kind of milky white, yet she still stands there with the chain.
I see, so killing her wasn't enough. What should I do?
Immediately your body jerks into motion. It is painful being marionetted this way, because it seems like whoever is controlling you doesn't entirely understand how a humanoid body is supposed to move. But you feel yourself like jerking, half levitating towards the figure of Morgantha. As you draw your wicked dagger of sacrifice, and from your bags you pull out an expressive and smooth jasper stone in earthen hues. Not something that you carried with you and you've never seen before, but suddenly it is in your hand. And like before, like you did with Wind, you grasp the dark brown hazel hair of Morgantha, and you visually cut off a string of hair. Next, you kneel before her naked form and you saw off a toe that has been somewhat dead for some time. It's not as bloody as it was with Rin, because this blood has coagulated and died some time ago. And then standing up, you approach your mother's face, you pull down her shin, you force your hands into her mouth and kind of rip open her jaw with both of your hands, kind of pulling on her teeth. And then you pull out her tongue, feeling it like writhe cold in your hand. And you cut off the tongue as well. With the three items taken, and the Jasper stone in hand, together with the dagger, you move to stand behind her to where the chain attaches to her form. And you place the dagger edge on the chain, and you feel it give way, but not completely. Something ultimately makes it hold. And the sound of rustling papers fill your ears. And then you're pulled away.
Okay.
And again, you're launched from the stone and you kind of land in the black earth, like a meter away. The impact doesn't deal any damage, but it certainly like
The back is hurt.
startles you for sure and hurts a bit.
Maria scares up like she's in a fight. And her eyes are wide. And if they look a little bit trippy, she looks for the first person she sees, and that's probably Nix. And she goes,
I know what needs to be done. Okay.
Sure. Does
Listen.
it need? Go. Sure, go.
Sure, give me. Where's the fucking body? Let's do this. And she pulls out a knife.
Nix,
Close out.
make me a make me a perception composure.
Oh.
But we need to preserve his parts.
6, but I'm gonna use inspiration.
Okay.
Oh.
No shit.
Oh no!
Well, okay. So you don't get an advance warning. Martia. The air doesn't seem as cold around you for a moment, and in your ear there's something that whispers. It is first in the voice of Morgantha, but then kind of morphs into that of Soul, and then morphs into Illyria, and then to Asphyda, and then takes its own kind of cadence, its own person, and it is a very low, sultry, female voice. Ah, a new little hag. A new little hag to gain the control of the prime that has no master. I think you have proven yourself, little one. I think you're ready for my embrace. Defeat the champion and accept the gift of Mother Night. And with that, we're going to end tonight's episode of Curse of the Mystery! No!
She's gonna make me a fucking hag. I don't want to be a fucking hag.
Too bad.
Oh